House of the Dragon episode 4 aired this week, and it's certainly hotting up some of the weirdest ways I thought possible. Let's talk about why. Hey guys, I'm Karl. This is my movie film show. Feel free to subscribe down below if you would like to. But today we're here to talk about episode 4 of House of the Dragon. And as I mentioned, the show is certainly heating up, it's certainly getting interesting, and I've enjoyed the show more and more as it's gone on. However, there are parts that are getting quite weird. And one thing I thought of when watching this week's episode is I'm damn sure glad that I am not related to George R.R. Martin. Because if I was, I would definitely stay away from any family events. The guy's just got a thing for, you know, the whole family getting together, keeping it in the family. Well, they do say incest is best. All the weirdos out there say that. It was a thing in Game of Thrones. It's a thing in the books, obviously, because he's the author of the books, which the series is based on. In some of the books, it even goes into quite graphic detail, which is, you know, should be ringing alarm bells for some people as well. But then again, some people say, oh, that's just fiction. Never mind, it's just fiction. It's not that this guy has to think of all this weird shit and then has to get inspiration from somewhere. We won't ask where. It has to go through someone's mind. But nonetheless, the show was quite interesting. And apart from the weird incest storylines that keep popping up throughout this work, the rest of it is quite interesting. Matt Smith's character is becoming a little more devious now. Very reminiscent of Peter Dinklage's character, or even Charles Dance's character in Game of Thrones, how they manipulate people around them to get what they want. When he arrives home triumphant from victory, from beating the crab feeder, it was quite a surprise at the beginning of the episode. I wasn't expecting him to just turn up at the castle and bend his knee to the king, but clearly he had other plans in mind. It's quite a good turn within the series because it wasn't expected, at least from me. And Matt Smith's character, as I mentioned, he's become more and more devious. Rhaenyra, a bit more trustful of him. And I was saying after episode 3, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried linking up Matt Smith and Rhaenyra because she's already got a chip on her shoulder with the king. And if he can find a way to drive a wedge further between them and separate them and take Rhaenyra away from the king, that can only benefit Matt Smith's character. I didn't think they'd go the whole incest route and him trying to marry his niece, but you know, that's a thing. Now, obviously, the big talking point this week was the whole brothel scene, the whole sex house scene, because that's where the whole incest stuff comes from, the perhaps more controversial stuff. A weird thing I read this week was regarding the extras in that scene, how some extras had just met a few hours beforehand and found themselves lying naked on top of each other in like 69 positions and everything for hours on end just to film that scene. I hope they got well paid, and I hope they were paired up with someone that they liked, because that could be awkward. It can be very awkward. The things you do to try to become famous, huh? The interesting thing with the series so far is that it's only focusing on a handful of characters, whereas Game of Thrones always seemed to have 6, 7 or 8 storylines going all at once to keep you interested. This one, it's got 1 or 2, but they're all interconnected. Matt Smith, Rhaenyra, the King, and even Alicent, they're all connected. So it'll be interesting to see how they expand the House of the Dragon universe going forward. The interesting thing is that next week, on the next episode, they're aging up the characters again. Rhaenyra and Alicent are going to be played by different actresses who look quite similar to the original actresses. Milly Alcock, who's been playing Rhaenyra so far, is now going to be replaced by Emma D'Arcy, and Emily Carey, who's now been playing the Queen Alicent, she's going to be replaced by Olivia Cooke. So the characters are going to age up 3 or 4 years, and you would imagine that means something big is about to happen in episode 5. We don't have too long to wait because this review is going out on the Saturday and the show comes out Sunday night, Monday for me. But you know, it's been quite a hectic week. But I'd love to hear your opinions on House of the Dragon episode 4 and the series so far. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below.